What is up, CMS Braves? Welcome back to another edition of the 14th Colony Vodcast. It is Wednesday, November 11th, and it is Veterans Day. One of the coolest days in our calendar year, if you ask me. I am Mr. Stack, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mr. Congleton. And I am joined today by a very special guest. This is my big brother, Jordan Stack, who is back home in North Dakota, and he is a veteran. So we brought him on the show today because we wanted to ask him a couple questions about Veterans Day and kind of like have him run us through that whole deal. So, and he's got some cool stories too. So Jordan, welcome to the 14th Colony Vodcast. Thanks for joining us, and tell us a little bit about yourself, about your time in service. What did you do? Where were you stationed? All that stuff.
Sure. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Let's see. Well, I was in the Army. I was active duty Army, and I was a sergeant, and I served with the 1st Infantry Division stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas, which is right in your neck of the woods there, right next to Manhattan and Junction City. And I was a M1 Abrams armor crewman. More specifically, I was a tank gunner. And so that's kind of what I did there. Deployed to Afghanistan in 2011. But we can reel it back to my job as a tank gunner. When you train to be a tanker in general, you first learn how to drive the tank, load the tank. And then after some time and many, many hours of training and in the field, eventually you can learn to be the gunner and shoot the big gun, which is pretty fun. And in that process, it's actually it's a lot like a video game. Actually, you go into a simulator, and the gunner has essentially it's a controller, even in the real tank, and you spend hundreds of hours training in the simulator, shooting at targets. And once you're qualified with that, then they let you shoot the real stuff. So.
And Jordan, cool. I know you're too modest to bring this up, but during your time in the military, I know that there was something that you and your crewmates won that was a pretty big deal.
Let's see. I was pretty young back then, and so a tank crew consists of 4 members. You have the driver, the loader, the gunner, and the tank commander. And you kind of work together as a crew to shoot, move, and communicate. And when we train, we shoot what's called a gunnery. And everybody in your battalion or company competes for a score. And when I was in at the time, we were the best tank crew in the division, which was kind of a big deal. And at the time, I mean, I guess I don't know it was true. I was told, but I was the best tank gunner in the Army, scoring nearly perfect score. And
best in the Army. What?
I was essentially what was called Top Gun, and I had a great crew. I had the fastest loader. I had great teachers, and I had a really good driver. So it wasn't all just me. It was more on them. So
that's awesome.
That's lots of training.
That's still so cool. I always tell people, whenever they ask me about what you did in the military, I was like, he just was like the best tank gunner in the world. No big deal. Just blowing up stuff. And
I'm sure there's somebody better by now. I haven't been in for a long time. So
yeah, true. Well, we don't know about that. So as far as we know, best ever of all time, greatest ever. All right, Mr. Congleton, you also had a question for Sergeant Stack.
Sergeant Stack. Well, thank you for your service. Just wanted to say that first off.
Thanks for your support.
Now that you're out of the military, what does Veterans Day mean to you and other members of the military?
Well, for me, it's kind of a loaded question because, for me, before I was in the military, it was just another day. And after being in and serving, I think what needs to be discussed is kind of the 3 days, that there really is a distinction and a difference, because you have Veterans Day, you have Armed Forces Day, and you have Memorial Day, and they're very 3 different distinct holidays. Veterans Day is for people that have served throughout our time as a country, Armed Forces Day is for people that are currently serving, and then you have Memorial Day, and that's to remember the ones who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So, when I was asked about this question, I get asked often, what does Veterans Day, mean to me? I think it's best to kind of look at the history of Veterans Day and how it started, which was, I believe it was World War I. It was to celebrate the end of World War I, Armistice Day. And it kind of evolved from Armistice Day after World War II and Korea and so on and so forth, and became just called Veterans Day. I think in 1975, you have to fact check that. But so for me, I went to college, had some college experience, and it just wasn't for me. So I was like, you know what? I kind of want to shoot tanks. And serving and with a great crew, for me, I use the day as time to, reconnect with my, brothers that I served with, and relax. I'm lucky that I have a boss who just lets me have the day off. Not everybody gets that, but
Very nice.
yeah. So for me, it's just kind of a time to reminisce, I guess.
And Jordan, I guess because I know there's a lot of kids out there that are very appreciative of the men and women in our armed forces. What do you, in your opinion, is the best way to approach a veteran just to say thanks? Is it as simple as that? Just saying, hey, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. It really is just as simple as that. And, it's hard. Sometimes it can be hard to tell if somebody's a veteran, especially if you've never served. I mean, if you've served, you can kind of pick them out of a crowd, but, unless they're wearing, like a veteran's hat or something like that, you don't really know, which is kind of the hard part. But if you do know, yeah, I mean, go ahead, it's COVID time, so you can't really shake their hands, get close and say thank you for your service. But, you can keep your distance and just tell them that you appreciate what they did.
Awesome. Yeah. Cause I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of kids out there that really respect and appreciate and think what you guys do is the coolest thing in the world, which honestly it really is. So, guys that are listening to this, it doesn't need to be some awkward, long drawn out thing. Just walking up to a guy and you'll notice, maybe a hat or a vest or a patch or something. And I know those guys really appreciate, especially when young people, understand, what they have sacrificed so we can live in this country and enjoy the things we enjoy. So walking up to them and just saying, hey, thank you for your service really does mean a lot. And Jordan, as my brother, thank you for your service. I know that it was something that was stressful for you, but not only for you, but for families and stuff as well. I look
Absolutely.
at mom and dad, and Janelle and I and Jessica and how everyone was, weighs on you when someone you love is over, away from home and taking care of business and taking care of us. So we just really appreciate you guys, Jordan. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. And guys, thank you for listening. And as always, be excellent to each other.
Thank you.